So let's talk about something that can be, well, really frustrating for a lot of local business owners.
You're doing what you're supposed to do, right? You're putting in the time, you're creating helpful blog posts for your website, but when you look at the bottom line, the phone just isn't ringing any more than it was before. It can seriously feel like you're just shouting into the wind.
So what gives? A lot has changed, actually. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why the old blogging advice doesn't really work anymore and what you should be doing instead to make your content actually grow your business. Okay, first up, let's look at the strategy that used to be a total slam dunk for so many businesses. I mean, for years, the formula was just beautifully simple. You'd find a question your customers were asking, you'd write a helpful blog post answering it, that post would rank on Google, and boom, a potential customer would find it, click through to your site, and give you a call. It was a straight line, and it just worked. Well, that straight line from a blog post to a paying customer, it's pretty much gone. And here's what's so confusing for a lot of people. Your rankings might still look great. Your visibility seems strong. But the calls and the booked jobs, they're just not showing up. The content is there, but that connection to the customer feels broken.
So why is that connection broken? Well, the number one reason is a massive shift in how Google itself gives people information.
And the scale of this change is just huge. Look at this. Nearly 60% of common how-to questions are now answered by Google's AI right on the search page. Think about that. Those are exactly the kinds of questions your blog is probably answering. People are getting their info without ever needing to click through to your website.
And here's the key difference you need to understand. For those big, general informational searches like how does a heat pump work? Yeah, AI is taking over. Clicks are way down. But for the local searches that actually make you money, like HVAC repair near me, AI isn't really a factor yet. The clicks are still happening there. The valuable clicks are still strong. They've just moved. So this is the really crucial part. Your blog post could be the number one result. It could even be featured inside one of those AI answers, and you could still get 0 clicks. Absolutely none. All that hard work for visibility might not lead to a single person actually visiting your website.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, well, what's the point of a blog then? That's a totally fair question. Its job hasn't vanished. It's just evolved into something much, much more strategic. Your blog's old job was all about getting that immediate lead, that direct click. The new job? It's to be an authority builder. Its purpose now is to prove to Google and to your potential customers that you are an expert that they can absolutely trust.
Think of it like a rising tide that lifts all the boats in the harbor. Every time you publish fresh, high-quality content, you're sending a powerful signal to Google that your site is active and credible. This creates a halo effect that boosts the rankings for all your pages, especially the most important ones, like your service pages and your contact page, where people actually decide to hire you. Let me show you how this rising tide actually works in the real world. Let's take a look at a local conveyancing firm. So this firm started a blog, publishing maybe one post a month. Before they started, you couldn't find them anywhere for the search conveyancing Castle Hill, which is a keyword with huge buying intent, right? 6 months later, their homepage, not a blog post, their main homepage was ranking number 1. And here's the kicker. That was the only thing that changed on their website. They just added blog posts. That authority they built with the blog lifted the most valuable page on their entire site right to the top, putting them in front of customers who were ready to buy. That's the new power of a blog. So to build that kind of authority, you have to create content that a machine just can't replicate. You can't just write generic posts anymore. This is your secret weapon, your unfair advantage. AI doesn't have your years of on-the-job experience. It's never dealt with the specific, unique problems that people in your town face. You have to share that unique knowledge. A fantastic place to start is by answering what we call the Big Five. These are the tough questions your customers have right before they make a decision. When you talk openly about costs, common problems, or how you stack up against the competition, you're building incredible trust. And you can go even deeper. Share content that is 100% yours. Talk about your specific process. Tell real customer stories. Answer questions that only a local would know. You can even share a horror story about a job gone wrong and how you fixed it. That shows real-world experience, and it's the kind of thing that builds a connection that generic content never could. All right, so if your blog is in the background building up all this authority, where do your customers actually find you and decide to make that call?
It's your Google business profile. You really need to start thinking of this as your new homepage. Because for a lot of your customers, it's the first and sometimes the only interaction they'll have with your business online. It's where they see your reviews, your photos, your location, and of course, your phone number.
And this is how it all connects. The authority your blog builds up tells Google that your entire business is a credible resource. In return, Google helps you rank higher in those all-important local map results. Plus, you can share your blog posts as updates directly on your profile, which shows potential customers that you're active and helpful.
So, this new reality, where the blog builds authority and your Google profile is what captures the lead, it requires a whole new way of measuring success. It's time to stop obsessing over how many people read each individual blog post. That's the old game. The metrics that matter now are the ones that prove your phone is actually ringing. We're talking about calls, requests for directions, and website clicks that all come directly from your Google profile. That's how you measure real business growth today. So it all really comes down to this one question. Is your content strategy stuck in the past, chasing after clicks that don't lead to customers anymore? Or are you playing the new game, building a deep foundation of trust that brings customers to your real digital front door for years to come? For more clear, practical advice like this to help grow your local business, make sure you subscribe. And if you want expert help to apply these strategies and get more booked jobs, you should definitely check out the team at Proper Marketers.